Hit it, Logan.
It's After Hours with Mariah and Ty.
Your weekly download of their extracurricular activities. Enjoy.
This week on After Hours.
Like, would you go see Spaghetti live?
Oh, we can branch out from spaghetti.
Yeah, he made the spaghetti. Come on.
Breaking news today, Oklahoma senator is looking to criminalize pornography.
What was his name again? Like Dusty Nuts?
I'd take it over putting my tongue in an old man.
I forgot to say our name.
That's fine. We're Mariah and Ty, and we've got Jasper Brewing Co. Crisp Pills, 4.8%.
Ooh.
Good stuff.
Enjoy this iconic craft Pilsner from Canada's first brewery in a national park.
Smells like a Pilsner.
Smells like a Pilsner.
Wow,
sounds like a Pilsner.
That's fun.
Sam, why are you putting yours in a cup?
I want to drink it out of my alligator cup.
That's the Gator Cup.
That's the Gator cup.
Yeah.
There's a lot of foam, though.
Whoa! Look at that.
That's a man who knows how to pour a beer.
You gotta tip the cup to the side, my man.
It's kind of an uncomfortable cup to do that with.
I like that cup. I would actually like to give that to my dad. Do you know where you got it from?
There's a downtown place in Calgary that has it. But I just don't know how to hold it like with a hot beverage. You know, when you get a piping hot cup of Joe.
Yeah, I don't know. That looks like a teacup, but maybe it isn't.
If you're listening to the audio version, it's a cup with an alligator sticking out.
It's an alligator head mounted to the side in place of a handle.
Interesting. Anyways, what was that thing you were telling me on the air about pasta? That's what we agreed we would talk about today.
I thought this was actually kind of interesting because it kind of provoked an interesting
It was like pasta is better than sports or something.
No. They said that pasta garners greater happiness for people, even more so than sports and music, which I thought was interesting because sports and music are probably like two cultural phenomenons that people have like just loved throughout the ages. You know what I mean? Fashion's probably up there next.
But why don't we have like a pasta festival?
I think there's
like, would you go see Spaghetti live?
What the fuck are they doing with Spaghetti Live? What do you mean, Hell's Kitchen on TV? Yeah, like I watched that already.
Spaghetti the live tour. They're coming to town and they're bringing meatballs.
I don't think that's where this is really going, but
that's what I was thinking. Like, would you buy a shirt that says spaghetti on it?
Yeah. I think the point of this is being that some particular food groups, pasta's not a food group, but some particular foods are just happiness. You know what I mean? Like, you know, somebody who's like super passionate about wings, that's like their thing, right? Mm-hmm. Like, I would say that pasta's like the top dog in that. Look at Sam. He's a glizzy guy. He loves hot dogs.
What's the worst type of pasta, though?
I don't even think that's a fair question to
Tortellini is the answer.
That's not true.
Shut up.
That's not true.
Shut up.
It is the
Tortellini's
answer.
amazing.
It's the worst one.
What?
What do you think is the worst pasta?
Like, I would go with one that's like smaller that you don't get the same amount of like surface area on.
Oh.
Like, I get really annoyed when I like go to have any sort of pasta and it's like slippery and hard to get with your fork. Now that could be my lack of motor functions.
I think you're just not. I just don't
know how to use a fork, but.
Okay, I actually looked up some pastas that are different because again, I was watching Hell's Kitchen the other day, and they had a challenge where it was like you had to create a different pasta from a different region of Italy, but some of these I actually had no idea what they were. I was like, I don't think I could just pull that out of my ass and like whip up a cavatappi or cavatelli or whatever the fuck it is. Like, do you guys know what a dilatini pasta looks like?
Is it egg noodle?
Dilatini, also referred to as tubetini, is a type of pasta that is shaped like small tubes and has been described as thimble-sized.
Okay.
Like these guys.
I'm sure I've probably had that. You know what? Some of the best pasta I ever had was the Rugrats macaroni from Kraft Dinner.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
That was a good one. Don't act like you don't like Kraft Dinner. I've heard you talk about it at length in the studio.
I know we all call it bow tie pasta, but what's the real name of it?
Fancy.
I just bought it yesterday too.
I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right. Farfalle or Farfel?
Farfalle.
Farfalle.
Yeah.
Is an Italian bow type shape pasta with either straight or frilly edges, and it is made up from dough and egg flour. Yeah, I'm all about this. Like, I was saying my point with this on why it probably garners like happiness is think about how many times, Sam, you're a sports guy. Think about how many times your favorite team has had a pivotal game where you had all your faith in this fucking game and this team, and then they let you down. For me, it was the Oilers' Game 7 loss last year. I was very disappointed on the amount of money I spent on playoff tickets. I didn't go to that game. I went to the one previous in the series. And I'm like, you know what? It's such a gamble. When you love sports, it's a love-hate. It's a very toxic relationship because you want to believe in it. You keep going back to something that's bad for you, only to get small. Oh, wow, what happened? Oh, it's back on.
Okay, hold on. You guys keep going. My camera is doing weird stuff.
Like only to get like, not even a guaranteed moment of joy. It's like small wins sometimes. But when the wins are big, it's big, But pasta, how many times are you getting a bad pasta
Have you ever had a
dish?
spaghetti that was like a big win? Where
Why
you're like,
is
this
spaghetti
great.
your only
Okay,
thing?
lasagna, sure.
Okay, yeah, all the time.
Have you ever been at a Boston Pizza? You get the lasagna and you take a bite and you want to scream and shout and celebrate.
You know what? We talked about this actually not that long ago. I was hungover and Bunce and I ordered Boston Pizza to skip the dishes to our house because it was like the only thing that was open on a Sunday. And I had a pasta that came in one of those little tins, like those little guys you could pop into the oven. It was so fucking good. I was blown away, honestly.
Were you celebrating?
Yeah, I just made, what did I make over Christmas? I was so proud of myself. I made like a seafood linguine, like a lemon linguine with mussels and stuff. And I was like, fuck me. I bought fresh pasta, like not hard pasta, like fresh, soft. You cook it for like a minute in the water. Incredible. Changed my life.
Another thing that Mariah said that I thought was interesting was that Beefaroni is not as good as the Chef Boyardee beef ravioli, when I think they taste the same. Aren't they the same thing? Just
Yeah,
different shapes?
I don't
the
even
exact same thing.
I don't even like the Chef Boyardee one.
What?
Yeah, it's got nothing on
Mariah.
alphagettis.
You
Let's
like
be real.
reheating soup in the office, but you don't
You
like
won't
Chef
eat
Boyardee.
the Chef Boyardee.
No, I'm not saying it's bad, but I'm saying it's shit compared to the other canned.
Okay, this is a
tomato
professional
pastas.
chef, Boyardee. He's pretty good. So wait, what do you mean better than the other canned pastas? Like alphagetti and zoodles?
Those are number one. Any
There's no
day.
meat in those.
Doesn't matter. Look at you idiots saying that you have to have a protein to make it worthwhile. That's
I
not even
mean,
true.
I've had this debate with my girlfriend a lot. Buttered noodles is not an actual meal.
I thought you were going to say you had the debate about Chef Boyardee.
No,
with your
that's like
girlfriend.
girl
No,
dinner.
but
I
like, you
always
need
make
a-
no protein when Bunce
You need
isn't
a
there.
protein in a pasta to make it fit.
You know what I need? Money in my fucking pocket.
That's
and
why you buy the Chef Boyardee. We should get
No,
some
no.
SpaghettiOs here. Some beef ravioli and a can of beef
But I'm saying
beefaroni and
these
see
are
which one
all-
we like best.
You're sleeping on the fact that you could make yourself a really delicious pasta without meat in it.
Well,
Honestly,
I understand.
Yes, I've had
that,
spaghetti
but
before.
fuck
I don't
with the
prefer it.
spaghetti. Like
What do you have against spaghetti?
I'm not saying. I'm just. You know what? I think I'm traumatized because every time. I just had this conversation with Buds. He used to really cook a lot, and he's a great cook. But every time he randomly is like, "Oh, I'm gonna make supper," I have this running joke that I'm like, "Spaghetti." It's because it's only what he makes now, and it's good, and I enjoy it. But I'm like, we can branch out from spaghetti.
I was
But it's so
Like
wrong
we
with
can
it.
branch out from
Add
the
a protein in it
bolognese
and you see what
spaghetti.
happens.
Does he just make spaghetti with no meat in it?
No. He makes spaghetti with the meat, tomato. He puts some peppers and mushroom in there. It's very good.
I'm gonna text him, say, "Hey, I want you to grab a can of beefaroni and some and some peppers, and I want you to tell Mariah you cooked her dinner, and just see what she thinks."
No, he gets upset because he thinks that I'm chirping him for a nice effort he's making. He said he had this argument with one of his coworkers at work. He's like, they were just having shitting on their wives talks. You know, everybody needs to shit on their spouse a little bit. I get it. At work, look, we should. I'm just kidding. We don't shit on our spouses at work.
Jeez.
I'm just kidding. But
Way
he
to
was-
set us all up here, Mariah. Great.
he was chatting with one of his coworkers, and this guy was like, "Yeah, you know what? I know that my wife's a better cook, but like all I want is to be recognized when I make an effort."
Yeah, he made the spaghetti. Come on.
I know, and I feel bad.
Think
It's really
about
good,
it.
but I'm like, fuck, there's other pastas.
He could be making worse. I don't know.
No, I know. I don't want to be spoiled. I mean, I don't want to sound like a little shit.
He could be like me.
warming up fucking beefaroni.
He's going to. I'm going to text him and tell him to serve that up. See what you think.
He could be like me the first time I tried to make ham.
What, you mean a whole ham? What are
I
you
just-
talking about?
And when I was like, I don't know, like 22, I decided I wanted to make my girlfriend at the time like a ham dinner.
That's beautiful.
I had no idea what I was doing, and I just put an uncooked ham on a cooking tray and put it in the oven with nothing else.
But like,
was it that bad?
Hear me out.
Dude, it tasted like rock.
Most ham is already cooked.
Yeah, you probably dried it out.
Yeah, I
Like
just
it's
dried
cooked
it out.
already. You're just reheating it.
I had no idea what I was doing.
So you can't really fuck it up that much.
He thought it was a raw ham.
I instead just ordered pizza.
Like, what do you think? They're giving you a whole pork leg, just like bone in raw for you
He
to
was
cook?
like, there was a pulse on this ham. It was going.
You know what? That's a really cute effort, though. Like, whatever. It's hard to know.
Now I can cook better.
You've
Trial and error,
mastered the
baby.
spaghetti in a bag. Your father passed it down.
Man.
I forgot about those days.
I wish I still lived at home, because that would be,
Hey, you still got your
Dang.
bed? Go back. I love going back to
I
my
mean-
parents' house. I get a great meal every time I go.
Every time I go home, he'll give me like 4 days worth of food.
In
Eat it.
in a Ziploc bag?
No.
Oh.
In Ziploc container.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, no more bags.
You
Bags.
know, like some of those families, they gift their kids like an allowance for down payment on a home. My mom is great, and she like gives me veggies. I'm more happy with that. Like, you know, I'd rather be broke but with fresh food.
My
Versus,
parents
like,
give me a can of beefaroni and I hit the road and leave.
You keep on dunking on your parents. Like, if your mom ever gives you the graces that she listens
Listen,
to
they
this
sent me out there with my
podcast-
stick and bindle and a couple cans of beef
Shut up. Your
ravioli.
parents are giving you homemade wine. They're giving me homemade wine.
Yeah, they're giving it to you, not me.
Like, what's wrong with that?
that
That's
doesn't
amazing.
I don't get any of that.
They don't like you very
I get
much.
the beefaroni, and that's about
Your
it.
dad told me.
I know.
Dude, if somebody left me like 4 cans of beefaroni and like a stocking stuffer, I'd be over the moon.
I know what
That'd
I'm
be
getting
the
Sam for
greatest
his
day ever.
birthday.
Okay, before we move on off of the beefaroni, does anybody still buy pizza pops?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Like, do you
There's-
mean in general or like between us?
Between
three?
us in this group.
Yeah, I was gonna say they still sell them, so I'm assuming some people
Because
are buying them.
I'm
I-
a pizza pocket guy.
When I lived with my roommate, who is also like my best friend, she normally bought pizza pops, and I was like, bro, what the fuck are you doing? We were 25 years old, and she's like, when's the last time you had one? And I said, fine, sauce me one. And then the addiction festered, and now that's like, I haven't bought them since I lived with her, so it's been a solid 5 years. But I'm scared that if I buy them, I won't be able to break the addiction.
Have you had
Do
a
it.
pizza pocket?
That's like the processed food that I think is great.
That's the upper echelon of the pizza pop.
What do you mean? Is it still
Those-
made by Pillsbury?
No, it's it's McCain. The people who were behind the Deep and Delicious.
I went to the McCain factory in Prince Edward Island for fries. They know what's up.
I have a controversial take.
What?
Pizza Pop and Pizza Pocket taste the same.
What are you talking about? Next
Same.
thing you're going to say that beefaroni and Chef Boyardee beef ravioli don't taste the same.
I used to make like adult pizza pockets. I make a calzone.
What with like adult? What makes it adult?
Should we take
like
2
vodka?
slices of Wonder Bread, put some pizza
No,
sauce
it's because
in
it's
it, some
homemade.
cheese,
It's not from the
and
fucking
then
microwave.
Microwave it.
No, it's good. You make pizza. It's basically like you're making a homemade pizza, but you just fold it over and you stuff it with all the pizza stuffings. It's delicious.
And that's how you make a calzone.
After Hours with Mariah and Ty.
All right, welcome back. Breaking news today, Oklahoma senator is looking to criminalize pornography.
What was his name again? Like Dusty Nuts?
Oh, let me get to the best part of the story, okay? Let me get some context here. So, what's funny about this to me is that the way this guy described why he's making this decision makes it sound like he had an addiction, which I understand. I'm not trying to make light of people who have porn addictions. It's a real fucking thing. But I was like, damn, you can't get more, I don't know, trivial than this. I guess the day after Inauguration Day, Oklahoma Senator Dusty Devers.
Jeez, like I
That
said,
sounds like that could be like
a porn
a
name.
porn name.
Yeah, 100%. Like I said,
Okay.
he's probably got some skeletons in the closet.
It's like Dusty Devers and your beavers. I don't know.
I would say Dusty Beavers would be.
Okay.
There you go.
This gentleman introduced a
Actually, that's
slate
more
of
an old person.
fucking Christ, a slate of legislation to restore moral sanity to the state, including criminalizing pornography. So this bill would prohibit pornography in those who produce, distribute, or possess. So you can't even be a closet porn watcher there.
Okay.
They'll find you. But I guess you could face up to 10 years in prison. Now he
Did
goes
hard time.
Yeah, he goes. Okay, hard.
Jesus.
So I guess he says pornography is both degenerate material,
Okay.
like way to porn shame
He's
somebody,
never watched it for the story.
and highly addictive drug. It
What's
ruins-
next? They ban your books?
Well, hold on. Yeah,
I mean, they're
this
already
is
trying
this
that.
is we're basically reading *Handmaid's Tale* here. Okay, it ruins marriages, ruins lives, destroys innocence, warps young people's perception of the opposite sex, and turns women into objects, turns men into objects, and degrades human dignity. Well, here's the thing. Dusty, you can watch ethical porn, okay? Like, you don't have to
What do you
just
mean
get...
ethical? Like it's organic?
Do you not know that there is, like, ethical porn sites?
No, I don't know what a porn site
What is
is.
it?
I've never been to
What
one.
is ethical versus unethical porn? I feel like
From
Well-
farm to
Should be-
table, Sam.
For instance, no, don't fucking make light of this. For instance, Pornhub, I'm not trying to shit on Pornhub, but for a long time they have had issues about child pornography getting through their bots and being on their websites, okay? So ethical porn would be porn where people are getting paid properly, there's like ethical hire, there's ethical practices happening in the production, there's proper representation, produced by women, like that's ethical. It would be. Those are just some examples.
It's
So-
not just like some shady shot video, something
Well,
weird.
I'm not saying, but Pornhub is massive. Like they can only filter out so much. Like they do a good job of trying to
I
make sure
knew someone who worked for them.
for security.
Yeah, and that was their job. They just had
Really?
to filter through that.
I'm sure they have bots on it, but it's like it's
I think
the
you have
biggest
to have
interface,
human
right?
people working on that.
That
as
too,
well.
of course. But yeah. So, anyways, there's like other accounts or whatever that you can
Mm-hmm.
go to. But yeah, I kind of laughed at this because I think what happened to put this in place is Pornhub was doing a smart thing. They said that in the States, what they wanted to do was to combat predators online, was to have like facial recognition for age verification to
Oh,
be able
yeah,
to
we
sign
read
in.
about that, yeah.
To the website, because I mean, like anybody could go in and be like, "Do you certify that you're 18
Yeah,
or 21?"
click yes or no.
Yeah, so they wanted to up it another level, and you had to register your driver's license if you wanted to like watch. And I was like, I ain't got nothing to fucking.
What are they
hide.
gonna
Like,
What are they gonna do with that?
Yeah, I guess like maybe if you were a known sex offender, it would not let you enter the site.
Good.
Something like that, which is good. But then Oklahoma disputed that, and they didn't want to have that in their state. Then
So
all
now
of
they're
a
just
sudden,
getting rid of it completely.
then all of a sudden they're getting rid of it completely. So I'm not trying to get political, but
So
I'm
what
like,
is? Are they
"Ah."
gonna have like an bootlegged Playboy? Is that Playboy still around?
This guy doesn't know what
I-
porn sex is.
I wonder how many Oklahomans right now are just like slamming the download button on every fucking video. they
Population.
see.
But then if
is
someone, but if they
dropping.
did that, from the law, if you had possession of it, they would just come.
Are
and
you saying
arrest you.
are they shutting down all the XXX stores? Like, what
Yes.
about hard copy porn? That's a thing. I don't know.
Do people
But did that get passed, or was it just proposed?
posed? I think
It says the bill SB 593. I don't know. I don't know if it's
sounds like a ship from
they're
Star
they're
Wars.
saying that they're going to be
Sounds like a
introducing
droid.
it as a slate of legislation. I'm sure that I don't think it's just like the senator passes it. I'm sure that they have their
I
cabinet would vote on it, right? Like
I've never understood the shamefulness, like especially like south of the border about that sort of stuff. Like people got to do what they
Silly.
got to do. Like
silly.
It was weird when that started just coming down out of nowhere.
yeah, like
Everybody watches porn. It's a fact.
Don't
Like,
get me wrong. Would not love to see like my history of what I've watched shared on anywhere. But like I'd be happy
Where
to
did
put
that
my
come
I'd be happy to put my license down and be like, "Yup, verification."
Well, like the reason why everybody's lighting this guy up is because he's like, porn destroys marriages. It's like, did it destroy your
Yeah,
marriage?
it must
like,
have. Like,
I'm
I
not,
don't know.
I'm not trying to shame anybody who has an addiction or anything, or maybe people who have had like a negative experience. But like for the most part, there are a lot of normal people out there that just want to
Whack it.
get their wank on. You know, like
Yeah.
it is what it is.
It is weird that happened. It's a weird trend. Hey.
Yeah, I do wonder like when they say like the destroyed marriages part, because like every once in a while you see that one article where it's like
Is it
U.S.
cheating?
man spends
Oh.
$18,000 on OnlyFans or something.
Yeah,
It's
that's
like-
that's
like,
a bit different.
That's a
though.
bit different. That
That's
could
a-
destroy a marriage, but
It's
like
a bit different from the person going incognito
So could
tab for
gambling,
15
though.
minutes on their phone.
yeah, He's like rolling up on the hub for like 15 minutes when the missus is
And
out.
in Oklahoma,
that bad.
do they
Like,
still got the
When
gambling
the missus
legalized?
is in, you can watch with your spouse, make it a date.
Do they have the gambling legalized in Oklahoma?
I don't know. That's another
They're
thing.
like, gamble it up, but
Well,
don't watch any
and then
pornography.
the other thing is like people are like, whoa, what about like how guns are legal but porn's illegal? Like, whoa, I don't know, out of whack priorities. But
I mean, yeah, like you don't want kids to see it, but that's like why the ID check is a good thing.
there's
Like
also just like many things in place to prohibit that. Like I mean-
honesty hour. When was the first time when you were a child were you exposed to pornography?
Wow, it's getting real.
I can guarantee it's under the age of 14.
Oh my god.
No, but seriously, like
I still haven't seen it, Sam. So
Yeah.
one of these days.
But verification is like it is important. Like
Well, and I also think like, oh, not to get like parental, but I'm like, if your kid isn't seeing some form of sexual content on
How many
TikTok,
kids watched
Instagram,
Game of Thrones when they shouldn't have?
That's
Yeah.
where you go to. Game
all you
of
have to do is
Thrones.
open your Instagram reels and it's like basically porn.
Maybe on your feed. No, I'm just kidding. You're right. You're right. Everybody's algo is different. I mean, damn.
Algo.
If that's the
Let me check your algo.
But I'm like, if that's the case, you could start burning all the books I read. There's sexually explicit content in all of those,
Do
but
they
they're
draw
words.
it, or is it all words?
They're not picture, they're not graphic novels.
I think
Ty's like, that's where I get my
I thought they were
fixation.
picture books at one point.
my
Who knows?
I've read like passages of those spicy books, and they are more vivid than most of the porn I would watch.
This is what
Like,
I'm telling you.
Yeah, like it's crazy.
Sam's finally caught on. He's a subscriber
He's
now.
hooked.
My girlfriend made me read one page of her book that she's reading aloud, and I blushed like right away.
So embarrassing.
What was the book called?
Something Wild Eyes or some I don't know. Wild Love. I don't
Add
know.
it to my
Wild something.
to read list.
We'll find that. Look it up.
Yeah, so I don't know. I guess like to bring to light that people shouldn't feel shamed. I can only imagine though that like there's another thing that I think of like when anybody's like porn is bad. I'm like male politician. I'm like, well, have you ever engaged in like prostitution or escorting services? I'm like, what about that? Like, you know what I mean? I just find it like, I don't know.
The
kind of
ladder
revealing.
runs deep, and he's just trying to
Yeah. Trying
get some
to
things.
cover the trail, you know?
After Hours with Mariah and Ty.
It's like their radio show, but in podcast form.
And now it's time for Mariah and Ty's Game of the Week.
Mariah and Ty's Game of the Week.
And it's another edition of Would You Rather.
Oh. Okay.
This song slaps so hard.
Quiet.
I almost tipped my chair over. Shit. Very nice.
All right. Does who has one? Because I have one.
All right, you want to go last? Do you want me
Sure.
to kick her off?
Yeah, kick it off.
All right. With the Super Bowl going on, this is top of mind for probably Buffalo Bills fans. Would you rather your team wins one championship and then sucks for eternity, or your team is always good but never wins at all?
You win the championship. Look at the Raptors. It's easy.
Yeah, but like think about it though. Like if you win it once and it's great,
Mm-hmm.
but then like if you're continually bad and just get to watch from the outside, there's never any thrill. You know,
Can you repeat the question?
would you rather your team wins it all once and then is bad for eternity, or your team is good but never wins it?
Now,
I'd say good, but never win.
What do you mean? What are you happy to have a stroke? Like, that's what would happen.
Well, you would get like exciting like football or hockey or whatever it is, right? Like that would be the argument, right? Like,
Yeah.
Like I'm on the other end of it where the Flames won before I was born, and now they've just been like mediocre and shitty. They've never been really bad, and they've never been really good. It's not great.
So you think that's what happened to you? Someone in your family took that would you rather, and now you've been cursed?
They might have been
passed down
cursed.
generations?
Maybe they like made a deal with the devil for the one cup we got 10 years before I was born, and then here we are. Yeah.
So I'll say, yeah, they win it once, and then they suck. You two are
Fair
both
enough.
taking the other one?
I'd take the other one. I'd take like consistent playoff games over,
Okay, well, Mariah's deep in thought. Here's mine. Would you rather all your haircuts end up looking like a loaf of bread, or every piece of furniture you sit on turns into a wet sponge?
bread.
What do you mean loaf of bread?
All your haircuts look like a loaf of bread.
Like your head is shaped like a loaf of bread,
Yeah,
like here.
It would look like a loaf of bread, yeah.
Yeah, I'd take that.
Over
like,
the wet sponge?
Yeah, do you want to sit down and be wet? No!
But like,
No!
you could deal with that though. You could just be a stander.
You could just stand
Yeah, but
a
then you
lot.
have to stand for the rest of your life. Imagine. We love a good couch sit here.
I guess a bed is technically furniture,
What if you
too.
lay down? If
Yeah.
you lay down, you beat the fucking system.
No, I
you're
think
still
bed
wet.
is... I guess if you lay, it's okay.
Yeah.
But you're wet.
Only when
No,
you sit.
Only when you sit. You
Yeah.
could just lay down. Say you have a freaking
But
syndrome.
isn't laying a form of sitting?
No, it's not.
Your ass is still on the
no,
object.
no, you're laying. Your back is touching.
It's a different position.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I know, but okay, so imagine you go to a party.
And your haircut looks like a
And you-
loaf of bread.
No.
Nobody
But imagine
wants
you
to
go
talk
to a
to you.
party and you gotta lay down to
I've
make
done
sure
that.
you're not wet.
Sure.
No!
You're taking the loaf of bread haircut.
Hey, dudes, you gotta find another place to sit down because I'm laying down on this couch.
Everyone would be like, what is that, a loaf of Dempster's at this party? Oh, it's just Sam. I looked at him from behind.
Okay. I
So
got
what
a
are you
good one.
picking?
I'm gonna do the seat.
All right.
All right, enjoy
I'm
that.
going to do the seat.
Enjoy the wet ass for the rest of your life.
Okay, I got a good one for you guys. Sounds like wet ass.
The whole loaf of bread haircut on Sam.
I'd take it. You know what? Somebody can Photoshop that.
I want to see that photoshopped.
Would you rather let a crusty old man drink milk out of your belly button every day for a year, or drink milk out of a crusty old man's belly button every day for a month?
He can drink me up.
His loaf of bread haircut.
Sounds like body shots. I like them.
Yeah, I'm not going to drink it out of this guy's stomach.
I don't
know
want
where
to
it's
taste.
been.
I don't want
So
to taste
you
old dude.
want an old dude to give you like the go down for a month?
Sure. For
What
the...
if he swirls his tongue around in your belly button and
It's
says,
fine.
"Do you like that?"
I don't have to taste it. You're going for it? You're like, I want it.
But it's
Sip
for
it out
a
of the old
year.
man.
I'm just saying, would you want
Yeah.
it for a year?
I like consistency. I like routine. A month, you can't settle into that.
That's why you want to fucking not settle
I'm just
into
saying,
it. You don't want to
31
remember
days?
it.
Okay. All right. Well, you might miss him when he's gone.
Think of like the grossest, creepiest old dude you know, and that
Dusty
guy.
Deezer or whatever
but-
his name was.
But imagine though. So you're calling him gross.
You want to
But
have
at least
belly
you don't
button
have
lint
to,
in your mouth
you
and
don't
it's
have
milk?
to taste him. That's
know,
what I'm
but-
thinking about.
I don't think you guys have ever had a man perv on you before. Like, I don't want a man doing that to me.
What?
That's what you
Perving
think.
on you? I don't know.
All right.
I take it over putting my tongue in an old man.
Yeah, I'm
straight
good.
up.
Who
I'm
says
good.
you have to use your tongue?
Well, you have to. Okay, fair. That's,
What'd you guys think of the beers? I'll give it a solid 8 out of 10.
I give it an 8. Yeah.
I give it 9 crocodiles out of 10.
Okay.
And next week, our podcast will be sponsored, so it might sound a little different. And
Not
Nobody's
much.
gonna know.
getting close to
Yeah.
100 episodes.
What are we doing for 100?
I'm going to start working the phone lines, trying to get a big guest. Go through my Rolodex.
Todd Rodman again, or what?
No, I don't want him on. Who are you going to get?
I just got a big yes last week.
Who are you going to get?
I'll bring my dog.
Oh my god, we should just do a dog party. That would be so fun.
Yeah, dogs
Episode-
barking. That's the best audio.
Episode 100, when all of the cameras
Yeah.
get knocked over and die.
We should fuck doing that. You know what we should do? We should mount the cameras to the dogs.
That's
and
not
they
even
just-
a podcast. That's just a camera on a dog.
People would love that. Probably be our most viewed podcast.
I'm going to be honest, Max's view would be straight up her crotch for like 25 minutes.
All right, Sam's camera's dying. We got to go. Bye.
You've been listening to After Hours with Mariah and Ty. Don't forget to subscribe to this podcast and have the new episode of After Hours with Mariah and Ty downloaded weekly to whatever device you use.
Can I tell you guys a story that I don't want included on the pod, so please cut this?
Yeah.
My first attempt to try and find porn when I was like 13 was me searching girls kissing on YouTube.
That's pretty standard.
And
Either
then my
that or
mom
boobs.
found it.
Yeah.
She's like, you can't Google shit like that on the computer.